Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. This is HD, and I'm proud to bring you guys the next StarCraft 2 series here, featuring another star from the Zerg world. This is going to be Stefano, and I know you guys already watched, or hopefully watched, the previous season of the Game of Drones. That season has now concluded with, of course, Tilo as the star, bringing you guys some very spectacular games. I was very excited, and as I promised, I'm bringing you guys the next season, but this is not going to be the same series. This is going to be a new one, and it's going to be featuring Stefano. He's the blue Zerg down here in the bottom left-hand corner. His opponent, the first challenger of the season, will be NF Team Breach. And we'll talk a little bit more about the players in a second, but I do want to talk about the name of this series. I actually posted a post on Facebook asking the community as to what they thought would be the most clever name for this next series. And interestingly enough, you know, I thought of Revenge of the French. I thought that'd be kind of cool, but a lot of people in the community really enjoyed From Paris with Creep. And I actually really like that one. That's pretty clever. Of course, based off of the movie From Paris with Love, of course, a popular saying as well. And I got to give credit to the guy who came up with it. Had a lot of thumbs up on my Facebook post. And that is Frederick Johannesson. And hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. I may be garbling up the name a little bit because I'm not from Europe. But thank you, Frederick. Thank you for that suggestion. Very clever. If you guys want to be more interactive, of course, just check me out on Facebook. You guys can search. I'm at HD StarCraft. And you guys can participate in more of those community little things. So thanks a lot. That's the name of the series. And this very first episode will be called From Paris with Creep, Episode 1. And of course, down in the bottom left-hand corner, we have Stefano, the star, the protagonist. We'll see how he fares compared to his brother, the little one. Of course, most people would agree in today's day and age, Stefano is quite obviously the superior Zerg. So I'm looking forward to seeing a little bit higher level here from Stefano compared to TLO. On top of that, I think I'll be keeping the ZVZs to a minimum, and even perhaps 0, simply because I casted so many ZVZs with TLO. And so we'll start things off here with the Zerg versus Terran, which is pretty nice because haven't seen a ZVT in a while after casting so many Zerg games. And to start things off here, Breach, the first challenger, is going to be throwing up a bunker. But Stefano's already got 5 drones ready to go, and those drones should be able to dispatch of the SCV fairly easily. And there it goes. The bunker must be canceled to recuperate resources. Now Stefano can mine out of the natural. Now, Breach, I don't know too much about this guy. I actually don't know anything about him. All I know is he's the first challenger. And we'll see if he can put a mark on the first game for Stefano. Maybe drop him to 0-1 for the beginning of this season. We'll just have to see. I'm actually really curious here about the build from Breach. He's not opening up with reactored Hellions, which is what you would expect. Rather, going with the command center, following the barracks, and then adding on 2 refineries right away. So that's actually really curious to me. Usually Terrans won't add on the gas right away. Typically we're going to see that factory come down, but with the extra Vespine here, note he's mining out of both refineries. We'll see which direction he decides to take the extra Vespine. Will it be a quick starport? Will it be some kind of quick double NG Bay tech? We'll have to see which way Breach is going to go. Stefano does not know about the gas right now. His overlords are not in position. Remember, guys, Stefano, lately he's been using a lot of roaches in his playstyle. Not only in ZVP, if everybody knows that he's got the 11-minute max roach timing down to a science against Protoss, but against Terran, he actually likes to make a lot of roaches as well. He makes them in the middle of the game, early mid-game, in order to control the map, deflect the Hellions, and then transition into the mid to late game. So we'll see what happens here. Command Center making its way down to the natural. And look at this, Breach has actually got a 3rd and a 4th geyser up already, putting the refineries on those. Usually Terran players won't get this much gas early on. Now, he is going for a starport, but with this much gas, I wonder what Breach is going for. It's got to be some type of mass starport play here. Also note Stefano is going for a Roach Warren, which doesn't surprise me. Usually Stefano gets Roach Warren around this time. He is also making 6 roaches as well. And triple starport coming up from Breach. So this is actually throwing up a bit of a spice to begin the season, and it's always good to challenge. I think it's always good to challenge the main character here with a little bit of adversity. And we'll see how TLO responds to this. He's actually making a lot of Zerglings here. So hold on tight, guys. We're going to have some serious action. Of course, Metabolic Boost is finished. And Stefano has the third hatchery coming down as well. So this is not a crazy all-in. He's going to try to transition out of the Roach Zergling aggression. And he might get the Hellions in the middle of the map. He will get one. The Hellion now running back for its dear life. The supply depot wall has been raised. Breach is going to have to hold the supply depot wall here with his SCVs and the bunker. Roach, the rocks might actually go down here. Stefano maybe just waiting for the Roaches to get up here. And now he's going to go for the wall. Will he be able to break the wall or not? Breach has to make a hold here. Do note he's trying to get his Banshees out of the starports. But will he be able to do so or not? The bunker, is it going to be held? The bunker is dropping down. Breach has got to hold this bunker and buy time for those Banshees to come out. And finally the bunker falls. But during all that time, Breach killed off a lot of Zerglings. And he doesn't need to worry so much about the Zergling threat anymore. Just buying time right now is Breach. He's going to try to retreat behind the second wall. And he raises that supply depot wall as well. So good moves from Breach here to have two different layers to work with. And now the Banshee reveals itself. And Stefano will have to pull back. So Breach is going to make a hold here. But how many SCVs did he lose? Wow, 19 under 56. Breach actually losing quite a few SCVs in that engagement. And during that time, Stefano has been droning up like a madman. And look, the Zerglings are still here doing damage. Command Center can't decide if it wants to land or not. And Breach finally has stabilized the situation a little bit, but his Banshee has been revealed. And I can't help but feel, unless those Banshees do a lot of damage, and I do mean a lot of damage, then Breach is just going to be straight up out of this game to start off the season. Sorry, Breach, you gave it a good shot, but it's looking pretty grim right now. Of course, I selected the first Terran game I could find in this replay pack. I actually skimmed through a couple of them already. I haven't seen this one yet, but I didn't want to cast any of the ZVZs, so hopefully this is going to be a good way to start off the season. Will Breach be able to make a comeback or not? He's got 3 Banshees and a squadron of Hellions in the middle of Cloud Kingdom here, trying to make his way across the map. Will be revealed on that Xel'Naga tower. A couple of Zerglings also making their way to the right for Stefano here. And Stefano, true to his name, he's built up a legend behind it, a huge reputation. Some would say the only foreigner here who can hold up a candle to the Koreans. Will he be able to close out this game? Or is he going to fall to the Banshee attack here? One Spore Crawler going to drop down, not before it could kill off the Banshee. And these 2 Queens coming in. One Banshee will fall. Will Stefano have the wherewithal to target the weakened Banshee? Yes, he will. And now Breach with only 2 Banshees, but he's got to worry about the front door here. In danger of falling to this counterattack. Breach is going to fall. Too many Zerglings for him to deal with. The wall is on fire. And will Breach be able to hold on or not? The supply depot wall is going to be regenerated by the SCVs. Quick job on repairing right there from Breach. Meanwhile, he's got more Banshees here coming in, doing some pretty good damage. Now remember, if Breach can kill off the last Queen, there is going to be no anti-air here to speak of. And Stefano could very well lose the third. Meanwhile, Stefano still trying to break through the front door here, flooding in more Zerglings. Zerglings after Zerglings. He's just producing them en masse. The wall is almost down. Oh my god, is Breach going to be able to make a hold or not? The Banshees and SCVs, even the meal being called to repair. And everything is on fire. Meanwhile, the Banshees have killed off the third hatchery. So it looks like Breach, if he can make a hold here, that is a long shot. He might just be able to get back into this game. The barracks is in trouble. He's got to redirect SCVs to the north. And it looks like the SCV, the supply depot wall, the barracks, it's so close to going down. It finally drops. But during all that time, Breach actually killed off a horde of Zerglings. He doesn't need to worry that much more about the Zergling threat. He can actually deal with it on his own. And somehow, some way, he's gotten 4 Banshees into the main. Of course, these are the Banshees that originally killed off the third hatchery and are now trying to do some damage, some additional damage. But they will be warded away by the Queens. Finally, Stefano able to mount up enough of an anti-air defense with the Queens and the Spore Crawlers to keep the main alive. And that was oh so important. The main is one of the most important areas for the Zerg. All the tech is hidden here. All of the mining is done there. The majority of the mining is done there as well. And Stefano here has to be careful. There's so many Banshees in the skies. He's got to get his Spire up. We can see a Spire now on the way from Stefano. Will he have enough time to get the Spire or not? Now retreating to the Spore Crawler. One more Queen drops. 2 Queens have fallen at the natural. The third Queen falls as well. There's just too many Banshees here. Stefano could very well lose this game, ladies and gentlemen. unbelievable. Workers killed now, 18 to 14, favoring Stefano in the least bit. But, you know, overall, Stefano still has not secured the airspace. And now the natural could fall as well. Where is that Spire? That Spire is being made in the main. And so it is hidden and tucked away. It doesn't look like Breach is going to be able to find the Spire in time to take it down. So he's actually going to go back to the new third here. And he's going to kill off the Spore Crawlers. Really a good job by Breach to hold off the wall, to apply Banshee aggression at the same time, and now he's even mixing in Ravens as well. Wow, this is this is a very, very crazy game right now. Look at the banked resources from Stefano. He's almost at 2k, 1k, and of course he's saving up a lot of that gas for mutas. But, you know, a lot of extra minerals here, and of course he's been so harassed he hasn't been able to really make use of it, and I would even venture to say he doesn't have the larva to produce the units he wants to produce. And really, Breach here just going for a straight-up Sky Terran build. He's got 3 starports, all teched up to tech labs. And this is such a crazy game. Hellions also on the field as well to prevent the Zergling front door harass. Hunter Seeker Missile, excuse me, Seeker Missile being researched right now as well. Oh man, this is such a crazy game right now. What a way to start off from Paris with Creep. And Will Stefano, the Frenchman, the only foreigner alive here in the modern world of StarCraft 2, the only hope of the outside world from Korea. Will he be able to win this first game here or not? We'll have to see. There are Mutalisks now in the skies for Stefano. He's going to fly in here to try to make something happen. Runs into a bunch of anti-air, though. Will have to retreat. More hatcheries coming up for Stefano as well. That's always a good idea. He's going to have a lot of redundancy to fall back on should he lose any one particular hatchery. Also has a macro hatch coming up as well at the same time. Now researching +1 flyer attacks out of the Spire. And a secondary Spire coming up. Indication that he wants to go into mass air upgrades and potentially Brood Lords as well. But look at this. Breach is moving out with SCVs in tow here. He's just going for a massive airstrike. He's already anticipated the Mutalisks, has plenty of Vikings in the air. I don't see any way how Stefano can hold this off. Now, he does have a lot of Spore Crawlers coming up, thankfully. Those Mutas are going to meet their demise, though. The Seeker Missile Viking combination is too much for the Mutalisks to handle. All of the Glameworm attacks being deflected by the point defense drone. But Stefano actually buying himself time to get the Spore Crawlers up at the third. Might have just been a diversionary tactic to get himself some breathing room there at the cost of some Mutalisks' lives. Nothing too serious though. He's gonna have to hold off the natural now. Will he be able to do so or not? Everything rides on this next attack. There are so many Ravens, Banshees, Vikings, and repairing SCVs underneath. It looks like the SCVs will be taken out though. Now the metal in the skies cannot be repaired anymore. And Transfuse coming out from the Queens. Last couple SCVs going down as well. And it's just Banshees, Vikings, and Ravens now. Auto turrets being dropped down to help the combat. And it looks like Breach is going to be able to take out the remaining units here. But now he's going to worry about the front door. Zerglings once again trying to knock it down. This is such an insane game. Drones being made post-haste from Stefano, who's currently riding 55 over 32. Workers killed 28 to 17, favoring Stefano. But the air domination here is still a scary threat from the Terran side. Will Breach be able to close out this game? He's on the verge of doing so. Will he even drop a third command center? I don't think so. He's just pretty much all in on 2 bases. Just a crazy tactic, you know, going with his gut feeling here. Just going mass air. Will he be able to close it out or not? The longer he waits, I fear the further behind in upgrades he falls. He will be able to take out the bottom right hatchery though. But like I said, those are just diversionary. It's nothing too serious. Stefano has nothing here except for the hatchery, so it's not a huge loss. But those upgrades are going to catch up for Stefano, and that's huge. He's at 0-1 already. Gonna be researching 2-1. And the air here from Breach is not gonna be able to hold a candle to those Mutalisks once they mass up enough upgrades. And Stefano realizing that, just buying time. That's all he's really doing right now, buying time at the main, trying to get those upgrades going. He knows he can win the air battle. He knows that his opponent is not researching upgrades. But he needs to check for potential thirds here. He cannot allow Breach to grab a third command center. And it looks like this is what this Zergling party is being dispatched to do. Moving in a clockwise formation here, just checking for potential command centers. And thankfully for him, it doesn't look like there is a third up yet, but Breach's Air Force still massing up in huge quantity. He's got 2 Banshees here, more Vikings really than he has Banshees. And that's all he's got in terms of raw damage is really the Banshees. Hellions aren't that good against structures. It's pretty much just Banshees here. And I guess you could consider the auto turret as well. But yeah, there we go. I thought that Breach was just not going to go up to the next level, but he is. He's going to have a fusion core down, as well as an armory, so we're gonna see battle cruisers pretty soon here. Battle cruiser operational, and the first battle cruiser is on the way now. I don't care how many upgrades you get on Mutalisks, battle cruisers shred Mutalisks. They absolutely destroy them. So this is something that Stefano will have to look out for. It looks like these Hellions are gonna get caught with their pants down, even though their flamethrowers are ready to go. It's too much for the Terran to handle. One auto turret here being dispatched just to handle new drones coming in to make a command center. And the Zerg attacking. Stefano going in. Look at the Seeker Missile detonating on all the Banelings. Beautiful Seeker Missile from Breach and really neutralizing most of the threat, but there's some amount of Zerglings here leaking into his main. He's got to be careful. Fusion core has been detected. Missile turret going down first. Mutalisk coming in here as well. Will Breach have enough to deflect this location? He's got to use Seeker Missiles, but he doesn't want to harm his own SCVs. And so he chose not to use any Seekers there, and he's just going to deal with the Zerglings with his Banshees. And it looked like he did that fairly well. He didn't lose that much at all. But at this point, Stefano has got to be scratching his head. Like, what the heck is my opponent doing? This guy is just not playing the conventional style at all. Way to kickstart the first season here of From Paris with Creep. And Stefano says, well, you know what? If you're not going to go a conventional style, then nor should I. I'm going for Hydralisks, and I'm getting 15 Hydras right now. He should actually get the Grooved Spine upgrade as well. Oh, this is such a crazy game right now. And Breacher coming in with a lot of Vikings, Banshees, and the Battle Cruiser as well. And will Breach be able to close out this game? He is running a very short hand here. I feel like the longer he waits, the further behind he falls. And he's going to try to go in here with some of his, in fact, his entire army. PDD doing good job here deflecting the shot. Seeker Missiles coming down, and it detonates on a huge squadron of Hydras and all the Mutas. A ton of Mutas taking a big shot from the Seeker Missile. And Breach here might actually be able to break this army down. His Battlecruiser has fallen, though. And so the capital ship going down, looks like that will be it for Breach. He doesn't want to continue the attack without that Battlecruiser, but man, that Seeker Missile to the Hydras and to the Mutalisks, absolutely devastating. And now it looks like he's going to fall back to his base and continue building this crazy build. What is Stefano's... What is his strategy? What is his counter to this? It looks like he's really just going to rely on Hydras, which is actually the right response. Hydralisks, while they're not good against anything from Terran except air, when it does come to the air, to mass Vikings, Banshees, Ravens, Hydralisks are pretty cost effective. They're really good against air units. And there's not much from the Terran side except for mass, Raven Seeker Missiles that can kill off a large army of Hydras. And even then, even with mass Seeker Missiles, it's not the most cost effective. So I really like what Stefano's doing here. He's got to be careful, though. Doesn't want to lose these drones. Going to take a little bit of damage. Just loses 2, though. And both sides here taking some serious worker casualties throughout the course of the game, but it is recoverable. One thing, though, for Breach that I do fear is the fact that he doesn't have another command center. He's got one. It's coming up right now. But really... He's only mining out of one basis and about to run dry. I don't really see the point to building this command center when he could have just lifted this one off. And, maybe Breach, this is the kind of playstyle he employs, and he's just not used to going into the very late game with this kind of composition. But, all things considered, he's been doing a damn good job. He's been keeping up in supply with Stefano, and his mass Sky Terran build's actually working out pretty well now. He's incorporating siege tanks as well. And on Cloud Kingdom, I really like how you can just set up a tank on the high ground. It covers the cliff below, and that third can be pretty well protected as well. And those siege tanks are going to be absolutely priceless versus the Hydralisks as well. So Breach kind of incorporating the more conventional style back into this very unorthodox strategy. And we'll see how it works out. Planetary Fortress coming up at the third. Another command center being dropped from Breach. I don't really know if he needs to invest into another command center for the reasons I said earlier. He really should be saving up those minerals for, I don't know, more units. But we'll see what happens here. Oh! Hellions gets caught by the Infestor. 2 Hellions going to make their way behind, though. But with the large Infestor Hydra squad, that is going to be pretty much crushed. And I really like how Stefano is actually incorporating Hydras now. Those Hydras are going to be, excuse me, those Infestors. Those Infestors are going to be really good against this mass airball as well. A couple of key fungal growths when the airball is stacked up can keep them locked and contained. Infested Terrans can be really useful against air as well. And it really looks like Stefano's late game strategy here should be competent to deal with Breach, depending on how Breach engages. I love Breach's wall, though. This is a great position for him with the siege tanks as well. I don't know if the Zerg is actually going to attack Stefano going in, though, with his Zerglings to the left, and everything else over at the third, launching his Infested Terrans down, fungling the air before the Ravens can get in range, but a couple Ravens sneak by, and the Seeker missiles launch downwards. The Planetary Fortress also getting a bunch of shots in as well. And with the siege tanks in conjunction, I don't think this location is breakable. Unbelievable hold by Breach. Meanwhile, those Zerglings have flooded their way in. They picked off the siege tank. And then the Hellions were able to kill off most of them. Will that siege tank survive? It will. And it looks like this Planetary Fortress is under a little bit of a pressure. But with the siege tanks coming up here, these Hydras will have to fall back. An unbelievable hold by Breach at the third, and it was so needed from his point of view. He needed this third in the most desperate of ways, or he was just going to run out of money. Now all of his mining is going to be centered around the third base. As you guys can see, he's completely run out of money at the natural and at the main. So he is now down to 1 mining base, but the problem is Stefano can potentially be mining out of 4 bases. So this is where Stefano has the opportunity to kind of run away with this game and claim the first victory here in this season. His air upgrades as well have been phenomenal. 2-2, good fungal as well. Just really spectacular map awareness by Stefano. Those Hellions unlikely to get much drone kills before they fall. And that Hellion is going to go for the run here into the natural. It only has 18 HP though, and it will be picked off. So surprisingly though, when I look at the supply tab, it is really, really close. You know, Breach has been holding on here. And that's really the one thing about Terran. As long as they have a mining base, they can kind of hang in the game. Their units and their ability to play defensively is unmatched by any other race. And so long as Breach stays in his base here, you know, while this base is mining, then he's okay. But eventually he's going to have to push out and grab another expansion, and that's what we see him kind of doing right now. He may even be going out for an all-out attack, choosing not to play the expand style here. And you can't really blame him. His strategy is so weird. His composition is so unfamiliar. So, you know, we'll see how this works. But now there's Broodlords in the air, and that Comsat has revealed them. Breach is going to siege up everything, though. He's got a lot of Vikings. He's got to be careful not to clump up the Vikings, however. A couple of drones meeting their demise here as they run up towards that base. And now the Broodlords going into combat. Vikings, though, picking them apart. Oh, my God, the anti-air is massive, but the fungal comes out from Stefano. Beautiful fungal growth. SCVs, though, are quick to repair. There's a lot of SCVs here, about 15 in total. And now the drones will have to evacuate. I can't believe it. Stefano might actually lose this base up here. Although he's got a lot more bases to fall back to, and he's got a huge round of upgrades coming. 3-3 across the board. All the Hive upgrades, in fact, coming all at once. So really making use of the Hive tech. But I don't know if Stefano is going to be able to get forces out in time. This army is pushing here. And Breach now setting up on the high ground overlooking the I guess you would call this the third. A couple of Infested Terrans coming out right now. Stefano just trying to buy time right now for more Broodlords. But he's run out of gas. He doesn't have enough gas to keep up this kind of warfare. And now all you can produce really are roaches or zerglings. He's so gas-starved right now. Surprisingly not mining gas out of the base over here in the pocket. And that is a mistake by Stefano. He might just lose to Breach here. This hatchery up here has no drones to mine gas with. This hatchery will fall. Stefano's gas intake, not, well, it's pretty decent actually. But it's just not enough to keep up with this army. And he's just making Broodlords one at a time. I don't know, guys. I don't think Stefano can hold on. Unless he can get some gas mining right now, unless he can just muster up a huge round of troops and then go for the bust. And look at this. Breach is actually going to fall back after picking off 2 hatcheries. All right, so he's going to try to play conservative here, but if you're going to do that, you need to expand. That's the only thing I can fault right here from Breach's playstyle. You know, he's gone with this mass air strategy. And he's gone for the attack and he's killed off 2 hatcheries. But he hasn't expanded out of this, so really, if you're not going to expand behind this attack, you might as well just go for the kill and crush the enemy Zerg. Now he's rendezvousing all of his troops to the bottom right, but this huge detour around the map is really allowing Stefano time to re-muster his army. And I don't know, man. I think Breach should have just went for the kill right for the gut when he was up here at the north. But he's still going to be able to do a lot of damage. And he's killing off a lot of drones. Here comes the Broodlord squad, but the Seeker missiles go down. The Fungal combats the Vikings, though. And Breach taking some damage on the hull of those Vikings, but it isn't enough. Or will it be? Stefano with reinforcements here. He needs a good Fungal. No, he will not get it off. The Infestor gets in range of the siege tanks and gets blown apart. But Stefano with enough Corruptors to push the Vikings away. They are 3-3 upgraded. These Vikings are just a piffling 0-0. And Breach is going to take out another hatchery. Oh, man. This is such a crazy game. Breach still hasn't expanded. All he has to do is lift off this orbital and go fly it over here. I'm sure he's got some... Actually, he doesn't have that many SCVs. Just 32, so a little bit more than enough to saturate one base, but not enough to take advantage of a second mining base. And oh no, he's gonna lose some tanks here. Those siege tanks in so much trouble trying to micro their way out of the Zerglings, but the Zerglings are 3-3 with adrenal glands, and they're just shredding these tanks apart. All the tanks, only 2 tanks remaining out of, I believe, 8 for the cost of just 20 Zerglings or so, and those tanks just got mauled apart. Breach is in so much trouble now. He just lost the backbone of his army, and what is he gonna do? He's actually swapped all his factories onto his tech labs from earlier on to make tanks, but he is in so much trouble after losing those tanks, trying to continue microing against the drone squad here. But Burrow comes down, and I don't even know, is Breach... Oh, nice from Breach here. Gonna hit the infestors, and that will end up killing off the drones due to the law of area of effect damage. But I don't know, guys. As the game continues to go onwards, he still doesn't have another mining base. There we go. Breach is bringing the orbital over, and if we look at the supply, unbelievably, he's winning 84 over 71. What is going on right now? Stefano at 36 drones. He has the drone advantage. He has the base advantage, but he's been under duress all game from this crazy, this fanatical style from Breach, and it has really put Stefano through the ropes. And I've actually said this a couple of times. Stefano is the kind of player that really shines, kind of like MVP. He really shines when he's able to investigate the other player, when he knows what the other player is doing. That's why he's so good when it comes to you know, tournaments that he's invited into. But I think he has a little bit harder time when it comes to being the road warrior, fighting on ladder, combating players that he isn't aware of, and unconventional playstyles. And this most certainly is one of the most unconventional playstyles I've seen. I've seen Terrence do it before, but it's usually pretty cheesy. But Breach has actually made this work. And it's still, I don't know, man. I can't give the game one way or another. He's going to roast up more drones here. Total 71 workers killed. Oh my goodness. And Breach is going to maybe kill off a couple more workers down here as well. It's currently down to 22 for Stefano. And what is Stefano making right now? He's just trying to replenish his drone count. But you know what? He's really in dire straits right now. He does have that upgrade advantage going for him. That's the one thing that I would say Stefano still got going, and he gets a good fungal. That's what he needs to do. He's got to get rid of these Vikings. Oh my goodness, what a lucky chain fungal here from Stefano. No repair coming out from Breach. Breach realizing at the last second, but he loses half of his Viking squad, and now his SCV's in trouble as well. Good attack by Stefano, following up with one more fungal, and now can he get the infestors out of there? Comsat goes down to chase the scurrying infestors. They're trying to get out of the way, and they will escape from the crime scene. Wonderful job by Stefano, exactly what he needed to do. But this heavy metal is coming to hit him where it hurts. Currently sitting at 0-1 upgrades, so not nearly as high as Stefano. That is one thing that is going very well for him. But is it going to be enough to just overcome the overwhelming odds here? The massive metal coming out from Breach. Breach still does not have any mining going on at the 4th base. He's actually lost so many SCVs from that fungal attack. This could be the last blow from Breach. Breach actually has to do a ton of damage here, but he gets fungaled! He gets fungaled! And there's Broodlords in the skies! And so many Corruptors here from Stefano. I think Stefano is going to take out the air. And with the units he's got on the ground, or at least the Broodlords, he should be able to clean up this army. There's no more anti-air left, and that's where the Broodlords will reign supreme. And that last door is going to fall. And now, Breach, what are you going to do? From Paris with Creep and Breach GG's. Oh man, that was one of the most hectic games I've casted in a very long time. And that was quite enjoyable. Hope you guys enjoyed this cast. And wow, the first win of the season is going to go to Stefano, but have no fear, guys, there's more challengers coming up. Or if you guys, of course, are Stefano fans, then there's way more games of Stefano coming, because I have this replay pack with some of his best recent StarCraft 2 games. It was just released about a week ago, and very excited to see how this trend continues, how Stefano continues to do. Let's go ahead and look back at this game, see if we can't just dissect a little bit of what was going on here. And I actually want to look at this battle, the very first battle, the major battle we saw, because I think I missed the secret missile strike on those Mutalisks, and that was just something of a beauty. Now we can see here, this is where he dropped the PvE down. Anytime you go with this kind of mass air style, you really do need to be very good with your PDDs and your seeker missiles. And we can see Breach actually did a really good job here launching Seekers. Now we can see those 2 Seekers are going to eradicate this group of Hydras. This box is done. But this is what was really cool for me, is Breach reacting so quickly to the Mutas behind him. And let's see what he did. Oh, 3 Seeker missiles. And oh, Stefano actually could have escaped. You can run away when the Seekers are tracked onto you with a unit that's quick enough. And Mutalisks are quick enough. But he actually stood there and he flew back in, which was a huge mistake. And that was the turning point of this game. That was when we all kind of realized, hey, Breach might actually win this game. And he made it way closer than it should have been. I'm pretty sure if Stefano didn't lose that chunk of Mutas and that chunk of Hydras right there, if he had just spread out his units a little bit better, he might have been able to crush this very unorthodox strategy. Because you have to remember, he was on so many more bases than his opponent. Also, another huge point in this game was the huge break at this wall here. Breach did a phenomenal job holding on. Can't count how many times Stefano tried to shove everything through this little gateway, and Breach was actually able to hold on. One thing that really comes to mind was when the barracks was here. Yeah, I think Stefano ended up shoving about, I don't know, 50 Zerglings at this wall just to try to break it down, but at the end of the day, it did not fall. And this is where it started. It's 11 minutes in right now, so we'll just see how long this break lasted for, or this attempt to break the wall lasted for. So 11 minutes, huge armies of Zerglings trying to run in. The wall almost goes down at the little focal point right here, but it gets quickly repaired. And now it's 12 minutes in, and Stefano's still trying to break this wall down. And I think it keeps going, and he loses so many units. Look at his units lost tab. I think it goes up to something around 5,000. And he's still going at it, so it was a 2-minute attempt to break the wall down, and he could not do it. I think Stefano should have just, I don't know, there were so many points where it was like a carrot in front of his face. It's like, hey, you almost got the supply depot wall down, so he kept trying to go for it. It was really kind of tantalizing, and it almost was a double-edged sword for him, because the entire time he was losing so much from these Banshees. Well, what a game. That was a great way to kickstart this new series from Paris with Creep, and certainly spoon-fed some of that down Breach's face. We'll have to see what happens in Game 2 of this season. I hope you guys stay tuned. Episode 2 will be coming out after this, and this is HD, signing out.